But there's a third route that President Trump has also taken, and that's pressuring China on trade deals via North Korea. I mean, literally saying, if China helps us with North Korea, I feel a lot differently towards trade. What does that kind of implicit threat do to China when they're looking at their trade policies?
You're absolutely right, and because what they've done is make a linkage that appears that a political solution can be brought about for progress on trade. And for the Chinese, what they care about is continued access to our market, the continued access to European and other markets, for their companies to be able to export and their economy to grow. And if we're willing to trade off progress on North Korea for progress on trade, that could end up being very concerning.
Ben, you have a different view in terms of trade. We talk a lot about trade wars and the issue between the U.S. and China, as Deborah was just outlining. But Ben, do you feel like a trade war is as imminent as the market thought it was back in November?
I mean, that's exactly the reason why, from the perspective of an investor, we care about trade policy, because it might lead us down that road to a broader conflagration and something that has a bigger effect on economics and on markets. I guess my intuition here is that that's actually very unlikely at this point. If you're to look back historically, there's a lot of inertia in trade policy, and actually you'd be very hard-pressed looking at globally, so if you look at all the trading partners, all the products, to find a big, widespread, and persistent increase in trade barriers over the last 20 years. So there's a lot of inertia in trade policy. And the second point I'll make is that actually there's a pretty high bar right now for a discontinuity under the current administration relative to the previous one. So Obama was no lightweight when it came to enforcing trade policy. Thinking about the number of anti-dumping cases, countervailing duty cases, those went up to an average of 35 per year under Obama, compared to 21 per year in the second George W. Bush term. And so actually, you know, we're already enforcing trade. We already have triple-digit tariffs on certain Chinese goods and Canadian goods, for that matter. And so
Canada, by the way.
Yeah, full disclosure, I'm Canadian, which we care very deeply about those topics. But it's not leading us down that road, I guess, would be my takeaway.